Hello there, I'm Nick, and this is the Game Apologist, where we look for the good in bad games, despite the fact that dinosaurs are awesome! The games we're covering today are, not super awesome. And despite the fact that Jurassic Park is such a huge hit all over the world, and I'd imagine especially here in America, there are some games American gamers never got a chance to play. But spoilers, you're going to quickly discover why the games we're covering today never got localization. So now that you're already disappointed, let's take a trip to Jurassic Park, Japan. The first game we're covering is Jurassic Park Institute Tour, Dinosaur Rescue. But before we start our tour, a little bit of history. The Jurassic Park Institute Tour was an exhibition of sorts, a fun activity for kids to walk through with their parents and learn real-life dinosaur facts with that iconic JP branding to help sell the whole thing. Apparently, they used the actual Stan Winston molds to make the animatronic dinosaurs for this thing. I mean, it's won awards and everything. It's a real shame it never hit the States. I think I would have loved it. Clayton Fioriti, and I'm sorry if I'm saying your last name incorrectly, has already done a video about this. And if you somehow reached my channel before his, I highly recommend it, especially if you're a Jurassic Park fan. And if you want to know about the actual tour, because we're not talking about that today. We're going to talk about the video game based on the tour. I say based on the tour, but it's more like a slapdash promotional game only loosely based on the tour and the property. Yeah, that sounds right. Well, let's pop this sucker in and take a look-see. Okay, so we're starting off pretty nice. Got that iconic heavy stomp of the Velociraptor. Okay. And then it just, like, awkwardly stands there. How you doing, bud? Need some help? There you go. Atta kid. Now, as you can see, all of this is in English so far, which is nice, I guess. So let's get to the game, or games themselves. We have 5 options to choose from. Despite the fact that everything's been English up to this point, it's only when you start a minigame do you see that there's just a wall of Japanese text. But don't let that intimidate you. These games are so simple that even a raptor could play them. So let's just start from the top and work our way down. Oh boy, this is gonna be a short video. Do you see what's happening here? Do you really need me to explain this to you? This is a very sad Frogger clone. Do I actually have to describe this situation? What's that you say? I'm just padding this out because there's not really a whole lot to talk about in any of these games and I'm just trying to make this video longer than 2 minutes? Yeah. So as you can see, you guide this stupid toddler past stampeding Triceratops to get him to the helicopter. And as you can also see, this is an absolute joke of a challenge. Now granted, the difficulty does ramp up slightly, but the only time I died was because I got so bored I stopped paying any kind of attention. That's it. Let's move on. Next we're gonna take a ride into, all together now, dodge the lava rocks. This is not hard. What am I doing? What am I doing here? So the only interesting thing out of this one is eventually you get a shiny dinosaur. I like shiny stuff. Very cool. I don't think we're doing Kenny Loggins proud here. Danger zone. Egg guard is next. I wrote nest in the script. This is a nest. We have fun. You play a pterodon who fends off hunters. This one actually kept me going a little bit. They ramped the challenge fairly well. Good for them. And look at that wee baby lizard bird. How adorable. Next game. Rexercise. Hilarious name. Oh, crap. It's Simon Says. Gonna be honest with you guys, this is the hardest of the games simply because it's Simon Says. And at this point, my attention span had no fighting chance against Rexy's morning cardio. The more I play this game, the more I appreciate the fact that they never made a Jurassic Park anime. And now that I say that out loud, I want that more than anything. Huh? Last one up is Take Meat. Take a guess what you do. Nope, not that. We're a family channel here. So crude jokes aside, what you're left with is, getting bored super quick while you pick up meat. That's right. You play a little raptor who has to feed its young. And it's about as eventful as anything else, and I don't know what else you want from me. Man, this is a collection of crap, guys. I like that you get to play a raptor. I mean, of course I do. And I like this risk-reward factor that comes with dodging the, cannonballs to pick up some bonus medallions, and you can actually grab as much meat as you want, but the more you grab, the slower you become, which is, I mean, a little bit of effort there, I guess. Good for them. But that's it, guys. We're done. That's Jurassic Park Institute Tour. That's the entire game. Oh, boy. Now, a few of you Jurassic fanatics might have already heard about this goofy little game, but I would bet even less of you have heard of this one. I only came across it myself just stumbling across a random eBay posting. I had never seen this game listed in any other Jurassic Park game listing. I've never seen the bigger Jurassic YouTube channels cover this. In fact, I can't even find a scrap of gameplay footage on YouTube. So, it is my honor to bring that to you today. Ladies and gents, may I present Peshide Konmaji Tatsujin. It's pachinko. I'm sorry. I know. I'm so sorry. You waited all this time for a pachinko game. Oh man. Like I said, I spotted this online randomly. Did a couple of searches and couldn't even find a common value for this thing. So I spent the $20 and had it imported from Japan. This was developed and published by Hackberry and falls right in the middle of a series of pachinko games they released on PlayStation consoles. And as far as I can tell, it's basically just a digital recreation of a couple of Jurassic Park machines that you can find in the country. But I'm not here to give you a history of pachinko and its place in Japanese culture, and it's only now that I realize I have no idea how to play pachinko. But hey, we're gonna give it a shot. Let's pop this in and... oh boy. Alright, despite the intimidating language barrier, it didn't take me long to get a table going and, play? So from what I can tell, this game really does emulate an actual pachinko machine. All you really do is feed these things money and it'll spit out little itty bitty balls with the intention of getting them into one of these little goals that will activate a slot machine, which can win you more balls and keep going. The only real control, as far as I can tell, is this little knob which controls the initial launch of said balls. This is about as much control as you are given over this entire process. After that, you have to hope these get into a goal, and in turn, hope this lands a jackpot, which I'm sure we're gonna land. Eventually. Holy crap, this is the worst. So you're able to pump this machine with fake money as often as you like, and you have some kind of control over some other aspects. The menu seems quite extensive, but for this idiot American, all I was really doing was just sitting here, only casually interacting with this thing. Hoping beyond hope I could at least trigger something. I knew this game was going to be boring, but I just wanted to provide some kind of footage as YouTube seems lacking. And after a half hour of absolutely nothing, finally, it looked like something was going to happen. And nothing happened. Oh! I just don't get gambling in general. I don't. I sat here forever just to get trolled, and by golly, I'm annoyed. I would have stopped right then and there, but I love you guys, and I wanted to get something online, so I kept going. I picked up the second table that's available on this game, opened up the menus, and diddled around with some stuff, and finally, I got this! Well, that was satisfying. Ooh. How you doing, bud? Need some help? There you go. Atta kid. I won a round, and then I won another round, and another, and I guess it's just gonna keep doing this. Okay. Well, I quickly learned that pachinko is not for me, and I think that was understood for a majority of American audiences, as there is little surprise as to why these two games were never released in the States. This really only counts as a video game because it was slapped onto a PS2 disc. I appreciate the attention to detail provided by the game. It looks like they carefully recreated the real-world machines, but all that said, it's still just pachinko. guys, there's just not much to say on that front. Both this and the Institute Tour were released in 2003, and boy golly, just one rough year for this franchise. I don't see these games online too often, but I didn't pay much for either. That said, even at their current asking price, I personally don't think either of them are worth it. But if you are a Jurassic Park fan and you weren't aware of one or both, it won't cost you much to add these to your collection. And that's basically where we're gonna find the good in the bad today, guys. Just bringing some exposure to my fellow fans of both gaming and all things Jurassic. Thought it would make for an interesting little video, and I'm sorry it's not much more than that. If you want something a little more extensive, I do have some more Jurassic videos. If you have not checked them out yet, I highly recommend them. And of course, I will be covering the other games in the future, so just be sure to subscribe so you don't miss those. I hope you learned something today, and hey, if I somehow missed yet another Japan-exclusive Jurassic Park game, please, by all means, let me know. That pachinko game taught me to not trust everything I read on Wikipedia game lists. There's bound to be more to unearth here. Who knows what else survived? Toot toot, paleontologists.